Number 5. Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan became a household name in the 90s after starring in The Parent Trap at the young age of 11. But her career actually started when she was much younger, as she began modeling at the age of 3. After her success in The Parent Trap, she went on to star in movies like Freaky Friday and Mean Girls, which cemented her success and put her in the spotlight. She hosted Saturday Night Live 3 times following her success, and guest starred in that '70s show with her then boyfriend, Wilmer Valderrama. Unfortunately, in 2006, everything started going downhill for her, and there were many rumors of drug and alcohol abuse surrounding her. Although she never addressed these rumors, she did check into rehab for the first time that year. In 2007, one of the movies she was supposed to be working on dropped her because they thought she was unreliable, and that same year she got her first DUI. The police also found cocaine on the scene, so she once again tried rehab. Unfortunately, she was caught in a second DUI only a few months later. For the next few years, the cycle of abuse continued, and she was sent to prison twice in 2010. In 2011, she was caught shoplifting and was given an electronic anklet to serve her time at home. She tried to get back on track, but was soon involved in another accident during June of 2012. After which she was placed on probation and sentenced to do community service. She starred with Charlie Sheen in her next big movie, Scary Movie 5, but it only received mixed reviews. Since then, her career never really has peaked, but she has been doing guest appearances in shows like Saturday Night Live and Two Broke Girls. Recently, there have been reports that she's taken time off from the spotlight and is reportedly doing better. Number 4. Macaulay Culkin. You're living under a rock if you haven't seen the Home Alone movies. Macaulay Culkin was the child actor who played the role of Kevin McAllister in the first 2 films in the series. Culkin began acting at the age of 4 and started out with minor roles such as a kidnapping victim. He got his first big break by starring as Miles Russell in Uncle Buck with John Candy. His next projects were with John Hughes in Home Alone and its sequel Lost in NYC. Culkin became such a star that he went on to host Saturday Night Live. After his major adolescent success, he was inactive for the next few years. That was until the early 2000s when he returned to the big screen in several different roles. He got some good reviews for his supporting role in Saved, but for the most part, he's only known for his substance abuse problems and the Home Alone series. Amidst the paparazzi and the limelight, from a young age, Culkin reported struggling with heroin and alcohol abuse. However, the blame for that also goes on his parents' messy divorce and the way fans reacted to him. Recently, Mila Kunis opened up in an interview and talked with him about how extremely fans would react when seeing him, and how much that put him on edge. Thankfully, he is doing better recently and said that he's no longer pounding $6,000 of heroin every month. He joined a band called Pizza Underground, but recently announced that their next album would be the last and the band is breaking up. Number 3. Amanda Bynes. Amanda Bynes was Nickelodeon's sweetheart for most of the early 2000s. She started acting professionally at the age of 7 and really caught the media's attention with her various roles for Nick's All That. She starred in her own sketch comedy show called The Amanda Show until 2002. After that, she starred in a movie alongside Frankie Muniz called Big Fat Liar. Her film career took off as she began starring in movies like Love Wrecked and She's the Man, both of which were big hits and got her a spot on Teen People's Hottest 25 Under 25 in 2006. For the next few years, she got positive reviews for movies such as Hairspray, Sydney White, and Easy A. But then in 2012, it all changed when she announced her decision to retire from acting. But later on, she corrected herself by saying that she wasn't actually retiring, but just taking time off. At the same time, her legal troubles began. In 2012, she was pulled over for driving while talking on a cell phone, and a month later, she was arrested for a DUI. Later the same year, she was charged for 2 cases of hit and run, but this matter never went to court as she came to a financial settlement with both victims. But then in 2013, she had another run-in with the law for illegal possession of marijuana and reckless endangerment because she allegedly threw a bong from her apartment on the 36th floor. She was also restrained from outside a stranger's house where she apparently tried to start a fire. After this, she went through psychological evaluations and stayed in and out of rehab under her parents' care. She later tweeted out a lot of celebrities such as Jay-Z, Rihanna, and Drake calling them ugly and saying horrible things. Well, this caused quite the storm among celebrity news sites and celebrities. It mostly died off and no one really seemed to harbor any hurt feelings. Hopefully things are going to get better for Amanda as she enrolled at a fashion school and hopes to one day be a successful fashion designer. Number 2. Taryn Noah Smith. Taryn Noah Smith was part of Home Improvement as Tim Taylor's youngest son, Marcus. Throughout its run, Smith grew up on set in front of the world. He joined when he was 7 years old, and the show ended when he was 16, so his formative years were more or less constantly on screen. At the age of 17, he married Heidi Van Pelt, which stirred a lot of controversy in the media, as she was in her 30s and almost twice as old as him. At the same time, Smith was fighting his parents to get control of his fortune, as he was convinced they had been squandering it away buying mansions. His marriage to Heidi Van Pelt lasted until 2007, during which they opened a vegan restaurant together called Playfood Inc. Maybe their marriage fell apart because they went into business together. I don't know. Either way, both were fairly broke in the end, and the house was foreclosed on in the final months of the marriage. But his troubles didn't end there. In February of 2012, he was arrested for a DUI and possession of marijuana. He was parked in front of a fire hydrant when the police stopped to investigate the car and found him drunk with a clump of hash in his car. Recently, he reconciled with his parents and is trying to manage his cheese business, as he also won legal control over the company he and his ex-wife started. Hopefully, things are back on track for Smith. Number 1. Jodie Sweetin. Jodie Sweetin was most well known for her role as Stephanie Tanner on the hit show Full House. She was born in California, and since both her parents were in prison at the time, her uncle Sam Sweetin raised her as his only child. She's iconic for her endearing acting and was only 5 years old when the show started, and remained a cast member until the show ended when she was 13. The show ending and her young years being spent on screen had taken their toll on her well-being, and she was quickly caught up in alcohol and drug abuse. Lamenting on her past, Jodie Sweetin admitted that she had experimented with many different drugs, all of which she reportedly used due to a mixture of being bored and unable to deal with life post-Full House. She had always been an academically strong student and even got a scholarship to college, but her substance abuse problems led her to earning a 0.9 GPA and losing her scholarship. As for her acting career, she held minor roles in shows like Party of Five, Port City, and Redefining Love. At the age of 20, she got married, but her drug problems led to a swift end of that relationship. In 2009, Sweetin wrote a memoir about her life and her struggles as a child actor, publishing the book under the title Unsweetin. Fortunately for her, she has been making a comeback, and was on Dancing with the Stars in 2016, placing 6th. She also reprised her role as Stephanie Tanner in Fuller House, a Full House spin-off. Hopefully Jodie's days will be sweet again.